Okay, I am gonna be doing the exterior portion of the brain dissection and pointing out the different anatomical figures in that. So first I'm gonna start with the brainstem, and the brainstem is this little area right here that extends down from the bottom portion of the brain, and this is the best I can do with showing that. Next, the cerebellum is this area here on the brain. It is also on the underside of the brain. And then we have on the superior part of the brain, we have the median longitudinal fissure. So I already removed, to the best of my ability, just for this purpose, the excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. Just sneeze. So when we look at the brain from the anterior, which is the front, we see that this is the median longitudinal fissure. That's that line that goes right down the middle of the brain. Next we have the gyrus, and that is on the top of the brain. That's right here in this area. And the sulcus is right behind it. That's found right here. Now we have I'll just go over really quickly the lobes. So the frontal lobe is here, and then as we turn it to the side, the parietal lobe of the brain is found on the top of the brain. And then we have the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe is right here on the side of the brain. And then the occipital lobe is the lobe found right here on the back of the brain. So then I will move on, and we have the medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata is this area right here on the brain. I know it's difficult to see by the way I'm holding it. That is the medulla oblongata. The pons in the midbrain are found right here. This would be the pons, and then the midbrain, very difficult to see, I'm sorry, is right there. And then we have the pituitary gland, which is right in here. It's kind of difficult to see as well. And then the optic nerve. The optic nerve is this nerve that you can see. It's smaller, and it's sticking out on the bottom of the brain. And then the olfactory bulb is also found on the anterior part of the brain. That's down here. Okay. So if we turn the brain over, we can see the medulla oblongata a little better. That's this area right here. That's the medulla oblongata. And the pons is actually just above that, and that is found in this area right here. And then the midbrain is even further, and it's actually, I found it to be easier to see whenever I actually pulled that area down, and the midbrain is found right there. So the pituitary gland is seen also on the underside of the brain, and that is this gland right in here. And then the optic chiasm is also found there, and that is that right there. And I think that covers the external brain anatomy. So in the next video, I will move on to the internal brain anatomy.